This is part 2 of what if Deku had darkness and all this. Blade would have taught Deku how to do hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. Deku has learned a move. He just calls it cover. Cover lets him cover an object or a part of his body in darkness. And all this, which it does enhance his strength at that one point to around 5% of one for all comparison, you could say. So, it's not really a big difference. It is way above normal people and all that, but he can only cover one part of his body. And this will is our stamina. Covering a weapon is easier, but the further away the darkness comes from the weapon, if he doubles the size of the weapon, he only has around 30 minutes to use it. But if he just covers it, not really extending it, he can only use it for about 3 hours. Covering his arm, he can only use it for 10 minutes on that one arm, since it does cost a lot of stamina. So, what's going to happen is that during the sports festival, their plan is, instead of keeping one kid, they're planning to off one off, where there'll be an open spot for Deku, and they would hold a exam, hoping to be public, which I would say they would have somebody from the inside suggest that. Hint, hint, the 4th hero, and number 4 hero, Hawks, I think his name is. I think I'm getting that name wrong. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Hawks is kind of like a double agent for both of them and all that. So because he is one, this is a way that he can get on their side. Oh my god. Why can't I shoot? Oh my god, what happened? Don't question me. I'm just gonna jump off something. Yeah, that should be fine. But yeah, so this is one way Hawks can get closer to the League. The League still doesn't trust him, so they would not show Deku. Just in case, anyway. So yeah. So Hawks would put in that word to have a exam and all that. And stuff like that. So after getting the word in, the stuff would happen, and what would happen is Kurogiri would spawn in I'd say this would be the first glimpse of low tier nomas, which the students of 1A would know the resemblance of them and all that. And there would be 5 low tier, which I think Endeavor there could handle those by himself, since I think he's strong enough to at least, he can survive a high tier one, so he can definitely survive low tiers and a mid tier. But that new move that was against All Might was specifically tailored to the All Might, is why it took so much strength behind it to defeat him and all that. But what would be there? So what would be there is a 5 low tier nomas with just weak quirks in general compared to all of them. They do have enhanced strength, No regeneration. Only mid and high tier Nomus have those. But yeah, this attack would happen, which one low tier Nomu with, I would say, a visibility. Visibility might sound OP, but the backside of this is that it can only be visible to one person, and this one person's name, or this one person would be Mineta, just because, I just have to kill him off somehow. So Mineta would be targeted, and with him not being OC'd, he would be impaled with 5 claws in the back, offing him off. Which, this would cause an emergency panic for 1A, or the people that hear this, they would blame 1 or UA, and they would demand some kind of protection system. And since this attack was also seen to be targeted to 1A, only 1A would have, dorms added in already. So after the dorms are added in, they are preparing just in case another attack happens. So they're pairing 1 to at least 2 more dorm systems. But this is when a Zam would happen, which they are not trying to use the same Zam each time. So in this Zam, it would be a group. I would say they will be split up in groups of 4s, and these 4 students would be facing off against 2 teachers. And there is people from Class C and Class B. Deku would be paired up with, what's his name? Mineta, what's that dude's name? I forgot his name. Copy Court dude. Shinso would be with them. And I would say also, who was a good fit that could be on a Tetsu. So they would be there. Whenever they see each other, they would recognize them from the whole sports festival. And they ask who Deku is. Deku says that I was going to listen 1A and all that, but my family was not able to move here in time. So it caused me not to be able to enroll, so I couldn't get in. And all that. But whenever the test starts, what would happen is that they would be against midnight and all that. And against midnight, it would just be some, mist and all that. So Mineta says, or Copy Cork dude says, I can't really help here, I need to copy your quirks and all that. With the masculine quirks, Tootsie says mine is, he already knows it, Shinso says it's talk, and all that. So he would ask what Deku's is. Deku would say that my quirk is named Darkness, pulling out. He's not feeling on edge. No, he is feeling on edge. What am I talking about? Since he is technically an enemy territory, you could say. So it wouldn't be bad, but he would have a bigger black flame than he had in the USJ. Instead of a foot or a football, it would be actually I would say 16 inches. And he says that my quirk is actually pretty delicate, and depending on the person's personality is what it changes into. So if somebody is not shipping up easily, it would be a perfect fit for this quirk. And all that. You'll say, whatever, I don't know how to use it, so you go ahead and use it and see what you can do. Deku would charge forward, with him just trying to get in as fast as he can. So he would cover one of his legs, and he would dash forward for a split second, turns it off, and covers his arm, saying darkness, cover, swinging his hand down, which would cause all the mist to kind of push out his way for a second, and he'll be right up on Midnight. Midnight would go to whip him, but while she whips him, he would put up his arm, blocking it, and he would go up to her and would have punched her in the stomach, knocking her out. Which what they see is that he did most of the work anyway, so he's definitely getting enrolled into UA or 1A and all that. So yeah, he would have got in while they, with all of them staying in their classes, but Alcei Shinso would have to win against other people, and Ozawa would put a good word in, saying that his quirk has potential if it's used right, and he would be moved up to Class B instead of in Class C, as Shinso was in. So yeah, that's an upgrade. So whenever the dorms are getting settled in, Ozawa would go up to everybody, saying that they have a new student, and all that, and they want you to meet them in the dorms area. And who would walk up is Deku. And Deku, whenever he walks up, people are looking at him, and he rubs the back of his head, saying, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Asano Kurosaki." I don't know. I just took freaking 2 anime names from somewhere. Asano, yeah, just go with it. And all that, which I'm still going to refer to him as Deku, because it's simpler for me. So yeah. So everybody would say hi with, I would say, Zawa explaining what happened about Mineta, and that they hold another exam and all that, and Deku got in, and not because he failed the first one, with Bakio saying whatever you failed the first exam, you're just lucky that you got in because you're just stronger than the rest of the weekends. With Deku saying not really, since the only reason why I wasn't able to take the exam in the first place, which Deku does look different since he was turned into a Nomu, or I guess you could say, I don't know, some reason that he looks different, but he can't turn back to normal. I'm not really that creative, but yeah. And my family didn't move here in time for me to take the exam. About a week after the exams were held is whenever I got to live here. So yeah, giving them the reason why he would be joining Class 1A the next day, or going to class the next day. So yeah. After this introduction, he would be Shinsu's room, which he wouldn't bring in much. All he would bring in is some bed, and that's about it. I'm not gonna list a whole bunch of stuff off. So yeah. So after all this, he would get settled in, and he would start the next class, and it would just be a normal day, and all that. Which All Might would roll in, with All Might already given his core play, but he would say to the class that we're gonna hold another, oh my god, a fighting exam or like another sort of exam fighting thing, since he is new. And they're like, so we're going to do the same thing about the bomb testing. All Might would say no. This time we're doing rescue training. Rescue training is here. So in this rescue training, what they would be doing is, let me think actually, give me a second, I have to do something anyway. Okay, I'm back, I'm sorry for that. I knew I paused for a while, but yeah. So, the hostage would be, I would say, who would be the hostage in this one? Oh, I have a good one. So, All Might is the villain in this new exam to test out Deku's power and all that. While they have Aizawa's the other villain. How many people are in 1A? Give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna say 20. So there are teams of 4 with Deku, Uraraka, Froppy. Wait, if 4 of them have it, teams of 4. So there will only be 3 people, since each one would have a hostage, and there's 4 of them. Or wait, I have to do math real quick. Okay, so there's 20 of them, and they're split up in teams of 4 against, no, teams of 5. So and there have to be a hostage on each one of them and all that, so yeah. No, they wouldn't put any of the students in danger, would they? So yeah, there would be 4 on teams of 5. 4 teachers, teams of 5. Or 5 teachers, teams of 4. How about that? It would be, I would say Kirishima. Actually, I just have to, Kirishima, Sugar Boy, the plant talker dude and Deku versus All Might and all that. So that's who's gonna be. So people will be saying that it's kind of unfair that his first test has to be against All Might and all that. And they would be saying this, and Deku would say fine and all that. So whenever he walks up to the podium, they would started it with what you would see is his darkness leaking off of him. And he would be anger inside, since his memories were manipulated to him to hate All Might and all that. So, yeah. He would be like this, and since he is angry and all that, his attack will be more powerful, but not fast. So yeah, so he would instantly raise his hand, and he would have jumped, which they would still be in a building, but I would say a bigger building, and all that. So yeah. So he would have jumped up, and with him shooting, this darkness attack, which people can follow easily, but it would hit the wall, which it would destroy the wall inside and blast through it, and it would be inside. And he would have just got ready by covering his arm in darkness, but instead of just being like a little thin layer of darkness or anything like that, this time it is sort of claw-like and all that, which in the observation room, Midnight would say this since she was the tester for him, saying that in the whole entrance exams, it was different. It was sort of not as intense as it looks right now, and all that. So yeah. But Deku would have charged forward, and all that, which he would be running, and when he's running, he would have went up to doors and all that, which he would start sticking his fingers through and blasting them away. He would just kind of be hitting the doors off of every floor and all that. After he gets this 4th floor all done, he would got ready and he would have shot a hole upwards again, which whenever he does this, he would see some blonde hair fall down, hit the floor, in sort of a bunny shape, which he would see All Might with like the tip of his hair sort of shot off, and he would see the dummy that's on the wall tied up, I would say. How about that? So Deku would instantly dash forward at All Might, taking his hand, and he would spin, and he would have aimed towards All Might, with All Might dodging these attacks, of course. But these attacks don't seem to not aimlessly being thrown around. They're not. He's thinking and all that, and he's looking where the kid's aiming, with the kid aiming at his heart or his throat or his side, or just like or at his knee, just trying to immobilize him and all that. And it's not a pattern going up and down, it's kind of just shot at every point constantly. So All Might would be dodging this for a while and all that. He would say, "Enough, hero," saying this, and he would pull back his hand. Since he doesn't know that Deku's darkness doesn't enhance him, since he didn't see any speed boosts or anything like that, he would have swinged with 5% with Deku and his punches colliding, which, realization, since I compared this to Deku's One For All, I am making his punch stronger, which would kind of shoot back All Might's hand a little bit. Not like ridiculously far, but it would knock his guard off balance. With Deku shifting the shadow to his leg, which he would kick at All Might's leg and he would hit it directly in the shin. With All Might, he does have enhanced durability, but hitting someone in the shin really hurts. So yeah, that's my excuse. It does hurt, guys. If you ever got kicked in the shin, it's like pure bone right there. So yeah. So when this happens, Deku would have been attacking again with his teammates getting up there, with Kurashima going into the battle, which Kurashima is trying to help Deku by attacking All Might from the back, with All Might taking his punch again, throwing a 10% smash, which Deku would collide with Deku not getting instantly pushed back. Since I don't know how much stronger One for All is for Deku, usually I go for like the 2 times boost, or like the 50% boost. What the heck is that? Oh, I remember that thing. But in this one, I'm getting a double boost for this one. Just saying that. So they would collide, which would, since Deku's legs are not as strong as All Might, he would have been shot back. But with the sort of punches canceling out each other. But that's whenever the Bug Dude would have talked to Bugs, and they got them to protect the thing, with Sugar Guy rushing over there, grabbing her, and grabbing the dummy, and dropping through the hole that Deku created from the 5th floor to the 4th floor, and would have punched, or would have ran towards the stairs and run down it, bringing him to the outside, declaring them as the winner. And yeah, this is Deku's one task. If you're wondering whenever the internships are happening, it'll be in the next one.